welcome to our channel, Peanut Butter Gelly. So before we get into the video, I wanted to give a couple of announcements. One is we are going to upload videos to our channel every single week on Wednesday. I was really bad about that in the past. Life just got in the way, but I'm going to make it a priority to get videos out there every week. So if there's anything you guys want to see, comment down below and let us know. And our second announcement is exactly 2 months ago. We got to introduce our baby girl, Kennedy Blair Gelly, into the world, and we're so excited. Our family has never felt more whole, and we are so deeply in love with her. So, starting off the new year.
She's okay.
So starting off the new year and starting off our channel and introducing her, we wanted to give you guys a birthing vlog. So I finished editing that, but because our birth didn't go completely as planned, and there was a lot of things that went wrong, which you guys will see, we stopped videotaping. So I'm going to have to kind of we're gonna have to insert some little clips here and there so that you guys can kind of understand what was happening. Really, there's not a ton missing, it's just after she was born. So anyway, so you'll see us again in between some clips. So here's the video. Enjoy! Today is October 31st, 2018, and as you can see, I'm in the hospital. So I'm a week overdue with baby G, and they have decided to induce me. So we just got here, we got all admitted, we got all checked in, I got all hooked up to the IV and everything, and we're just waiting for the doctor or midwife to come in and talk to us about the induction process and what they're gonna do and all of that stuff. So I'm very excited. It has been a long couple of weeks and we are ready to go. How do you feel over there?
I want to meet the baby.
What about you, Mom?
I'm just anxious for things to start moving along.
Yep.
Excited.
It's gonna be a fun and crazy ride, but I'm ready. We have a very big birthing suite. It's all nice and beautiful, and I'm gonna be here until after the baby's born, and then we go up to postpartum, and we'll just keep you updated as much as we can.
Potentially that this room is bigger than our house.
This is not bigger than our house, but yes. So we're very excited. I'm a little nervous because I don't know how it's gonna feel. I don't know how quickly it's gonna go. I heard some people screaming already, which makes me a little nervous. But it's all gonna be worth it in the end because we're gonna get to go home with our baby. And I'm so excited. The resident just came in. Resident doctor just came in, and she talked to me about induction and what they were gonna do, and she looked at the baby on the ultrasound and said that I had a low pocket of fluid, and so they're going to check and see, excuse me, they're gonna check and see if I have been leaking my water or ruptured my bag of water or whatever, and just see, because that can cause an infection and stuff, so they have to be sure. And then we are going to get this process started more. Anthony's already going to bed.
Hello, good night.
It is currently almost 3:50, so. Are you laughing at me because I couldn't read the clock? I'm gonna read it. I was just trying to think of what time I wanted to say. Jerk face. But it's very exciting. But it's also very nerve-wracking. I just want to get this going.
She's videotaping.
What are we videotaping?
There we go. Okay, so here's the little pills I have to take.
You want the tripod out of the car, Jim?
All gone. All right. begun. Here we go. Took my pill and they did some monitoring, and Mom and T are gonna go get sandwiches. I don't think that a nurse could have ever told me something so amazing other than you can eat a sandwich because you were trying to get the baby out. So you're good to eat whatever you want. You have to lay it out flat, dork. So I am so excited because I have been craving Quiznos for so long that this is about to be the greatest moment of my life other than having this baby and getting married. This is gonna be great. So we're just waiting. See those monitors back there? Those are monitoring the baby's heart rate and the contractions. So I have to stay hooked up to a monitor for an hour and see how I'm progressing, and then in 4 hours, if I'm not having too strong of contractions, then they can give me more medicine. But we're getting this party started. We're getting this party started. They did say it could take up to 4 days for all this to happen. So
go get their sandwiches and
yes,
then
you
go
are.
get something to eat, or are you planning on getting a sandwich?
So hopefully it will go sooner than later, but at least we're getting the process started, and I know that this is all leading to the moment I get to hold my beautiful baby.
You want us to take him?
That was the scariest moment of my life. I had a really bad reaction to the medication that they gave me, and the baby's heart rate dropped really, really, really low, and my room was filled with probably like 20 people, and all telling me to move and switch my body positions and put on oxygen and hook me back up to my IVs and gave me a shot and had to roll over to my hands and knees and just trying everything they can to get the baby's heart rate up. So now it's up and I'm just laying here, and it was like literally the scariest thing to have someone say your child's heart rate is way below where it needs to be, and that they were going to do an emergency C-section if it didn't get back up within the next couple of minutes. So also I didn't get to eat my Quiznos, and I can't eat now for another like 4 hours or drink very little water.
And they turned off Grey's Anatomy.
And they turned off my show. But the good news is that the baby is better, I'm okay, and we'll just keep hoping for the best. So yeah, and I will not be taking that medication again. Now they'll have to try a different medication. I don't know, Pitocin I guess would be next, so I'll check back in with you guys later. Okay, so it is currently a little past 8 o'clock, and
8:07.
8:07, and we, the baby and I are both doing really, really good. So that's good. They just monitored me for a while and made sure that the heartbeat stayed good on the baby, and then they wanted to wait to do any more medication, and so they inserted this little tiny balloon inside and like pumped it up so that my cervix would dilate and it would start the process along.
Ooh, that's a big one. Ooh.
Okay. So we started the process along, and basically what was supposed to happen was the balloon is just placed in your cervix and it expands as you dilate. And the goal is when they're supposed to like come in every so often and tug on it, and it should like start to come out slowly. Well, the first time they tried to tug on mine, I had to go to the bathroom. It just came out, which means that I should be at 3 centimeters dilated. But they haven't checked me. So they were waiting a little while, and then they're gonna come in and they're gonna check me and see how far along I am. I've been having contractions that are much stronger than normal, as you just saw. Let me go through one. They're gonna put some Pitocin slowly. So the last medicine that we did was a pill, and it's misoprostol. And it is supposed to help soften your cervix, to help you dilate, so that would have been instead of the balloon. But what happened when I went into, what happened is the baby's heart rate within like 20 minutes just instantly dropped. And it had a very difficult, like it was really, really scary. They had to come in and roll me over on my side and give me oxygen, and there was like 20 people in the room. And thankfully the baby's heart rate got back up, otherwise I would have had to do an emergency C-section, and I would have had been put to sleep and all that stuff.
And
so
I wouldn't have even been able to be in there. It would have been awful. It was super scary. Like there were literally, the entire room was filled with doctors and people, and they didn't tell me anything. They just came in, started.
They didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, they just started telling her stuff, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna stand there. And after the baby's heart rate started to come back up, a doctor came over to me. By the way, we could have almost had to do an emergency C-section because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, well, I think that their main thing was they had all hands on deck trying to get this baby's heart rate up and trying to get my heart rate good and everything, just to make sure that we were both safe so they didn't have to do an emergency C-section, which they didn't. So now it's, so then they did the, so the difference is the pill, they can't, like, you can't throw it up, you can't, like, once it's in your system, it's in your system. With the Pitocin, it's like on a drip system, so if I have a bad reaction or the baby has a bad reaction to it, then they can just ease up on it right away, and they don't have to give me any more. So it's way more controllable. And what that does is that will start to get the contractions going bigger and faster, and now that I'm dilated more, hopefully continue to keep dilating me. So I did get to eat some chips, so that was very good because I was very starving, but now I'm better. I kind of do want more food, but I don't know what I want.
Do you want more chips?
So I don't know. So yeah, so now we're just waiting for the doctor to come back in, and then we'll have more information. So it's about 8:40, and they started Pitocin a couple minutes ago. So it's on a very, very slow drip, so just to see how it will progress. So far I've had a couple of stronger contractions, and there's one about to start right now. Oh God. Okay, so I'm still hungry. So they're going to bring me a little buffet of little snacky things. So I'm excited to eat some of that and continue to get this party started. So, yep, Pitocin's going, contractions going, baby's coming out. Yay!
Everyone!
Hi!
Okay, so we're here at the hospital. It is Halloween, 10:31 at 10:28 p.m. Jamie is walking around outside, and we're gonna go follow her.
Yep.
See if she's dancing. Okay, this is what your mom did for you. So you better love her every single day for the rest of forever.
Unless she doesn't buy you a new car.
No, you should still love her. We're just waiting for dance moves.
Okay.
Hold your gut in, Anthony.
Hold mine in two.
Do you need some music?
I have that. See the monitor.
So this is about as fast as she's moving right now. We'll say slightly faster than a snail, Possibly like a slug.
But an ant would run circles around us.
True. It's pretty fast considering that she's trying to get a child out of her.
They can still read.
Alright. This is your update. Walking the baby out. They're dancing without music. That's talent.
We'll do
She's
music
making
in
her own
afterwards
music. Okay.
and edit all this out.
Don't stop believing. When the contractions aren't on, then I can like walk. Fine.
Can you do high kicks?
High kicks or low kicks.
Okay.
Kicks at all are approved.
Alright, so it's November 1st. It's like 12:20 in the morning, and I'm 4 centimeters dilated, and I love you. I caved and got an epidural. One, because the pain was not fun, and there was just a lot of pressure, and the main reason that I did it was because since we had the scare with the baby, if they had to do an emergency C-section, I would have had to be put to sleep, and with the epidural I can still be awake and they can numb me. So that was one of the main deciding factors, was just because in case that happened. So I feel much better now. Also, another reason is because both Anthony and I are exhausted, and being only out of 4, you have to get 6 more centimeters dilated, and I don't think any of us want to put that much pressure on the baby that fast, and we need to get some sleep so that when the baby's, I can't be too tired and not be able to push, and Anthony needs to get some sleep so that he can help me. So we are just hanging out. The epidural was really scary. It wasn't as painful, but just the thought of it, I bawled like a little baby. But now we're all good. I'm laying here and my legs feel very tingly and numb, and I have a catheter, and so it's really fun because when you pee, you really don't have any control and just goes into a bag, and it's weird, but it's all good. So we're gonna go get some sleep, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. And what happened after the epidural is I got super calm. It was super relaxing, and I was trying to go to sleep, and the baby's heart rate kept dropping. So they came in and they were like, your baby's heart rate keeps dropping, your baby's heart rate keeps dropping. So they were in there every 30 minutes checking on the monitor, and they were supposed to like roll you over so like one side doesn't get numb. Well, they couldn't roll me over because when I rolled over to one side, she didn't like that very much, so her heart rate dropped. So then they had to roll me over to the other side, and it was just super weird, and so I didn't end up sleeping. And everything that Anthony did in the video, I told him to do. I told him to eat, I told him to sleep. It's important that he was taken care of, so don't come for him. I told him to do that. Second of all, the nurses and everybody there were amazing, and anything that we said that sounds like it's against them or like we didn't know what was going on, it's because they were taking care of me, which I said already, but just wanted to say that. So the heart rate kept dropping, so I didn't sleep, and so I kept telling her, it feels like there's a lot of pressure. It feels like there's a lot of pressure. And she's like, okay, well, I'll just check you. It's been a while. And she's like, oh, you're at a 7. I said, okay, should I call my parents? She's like, no, not yet. So I'm sitting on the bed, completely numb. I can't move. I can't do anything. He's dead asleep. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to listen to her. I'm going to call my parents. I just had one of those feelings, and I went with it. So I'm like, Anthony, babe. Finally got his attention and was able to call my parents to come to tell them, hey, like, I just wanted to let you know I'm dilated to a 7. You don't have to come yet, but just wanted to give you a heads up. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Wait, is this like Bane? I'm coming to get you. It is currently 4:20 and I'm dilated 2 and 8. So this party's going. Baby's heart rate keeps going up and down. Oh. Some on oxygen. Bye.
Okay. So she thinks the baby is a girl, and I believe it's a boy. Okay, bye.
Okay, so the video that you just saw was me saying that I was dilated to an 8, and having a contraction. So yay, fun. Doctor still said don't call your parents, and I told them to forget it. And he had already called them before we made the video, and they were planning to leave at 5 o'clock. Well, if they had left at 5 o'clock, they would have missed it, because that video was taken at 4:20, and the video of Anthony saying that he thought it was a boy. Sorry, babe. It was taken shortly after that, and they came in and they were putting all of the equipment in there, and they were getting ready for me to start pushing, and I started pushing at 5 o'clock in the morning. So Anthony asked me at this point, should I videotape? And I said no, because my parents weren't there, and I knew that I was going to need his help to get the baby out, because the epidural had almost completely worn off, and I had a magic happy button that I was pressing every 12 minutes to give me an epidural. And it wasn't working. I felt everything. And so after, so at 5 o'clock, so I told him not to video, so there's no video of me actually giving birth, which I'm a little bit sad about, but I'm never going to forget. I'm always going to remember. So, and I don't think that I would be comfortable sharing that with the world anyway. It was more of just, you know, we were all in there together. There was no social media. We do have pictures, so I'll insert those after. And I'm really thankful to my parents for getting those. But my parents walked in at 5 a.m. and as I was putting my feet on the thing, and they had me roll over, and they were being super aggressive, and she was out in 20 minutes. I don't think that I've said the words "I can't" more in my entire life. And it was just for the sheer fact that I couldn't come up with anything else to say, because they were just like, push, push, push. And I was like, I can't. Like, once the contraction's over, you can't push anymore.
She did a really good job, though.
Thanks, babe. He did a really good job. He was such a good support person, and he was, like, giving me little things the whole time. So as I was pushing, he's like, I can see the head. It's right there. Like, it's right there. You got it. I had it.
So much hair.
So much hair. She's like, it has hair. We didn't know what it was. It has hair. Real, lots of hair. Dark hair. And I was like, what? So he kept me distracting, and he was by my leg, T was up on my shoulder, and my mom was behind me, and they were all pushing on me. And I remember he's like hyping me up. They're all like, you can do it, you can do it. And one nurse just looked at me and she said, you got this. Like, you need to push right now. Like, you can do this. And super aggressive, and I just like let out a big yell, and out she popped at 5:21 in the morning. And I think I just started crying, and I just remember saying, what is it? What is it? And Anthony's like, I don't know. I can't see. It's a, and the doctor's like, it's a girl. And I lost it at that point. It's like, it's a girl. So what happened when they came in, when I was dilated to an 8, is they broke my water. So this is like another reason why we didn't take lots of videos. So they broke my water, and when they broke my water, they found out that she had pooped in the womb, which is called like meconium. And when she came out, she wasn't breathing right, and she had actually swallowed meconium. And what I didn't also know at the time was the reason that they were being so aggressive and, you know, I got her out so quickly is because every time a contraction would stop, her heart rate would drop. And I'm so thankful that no one told me that, because I would have been so much more afraid. I mean, it was my first baby that I was giving birth to, and it was painful and confusing, because things happened that I wasn't expecting.
In a couple of minutes, they were actually going to do a cesarean.
Yeah, it was, and I didn't know that. I didn't know what was going on, but it was just, it was all very scary. And So, because she swallowed meconium and because she was having such a hard time breathing, she got put on my chest. I got to hold her for a little bit. Anthony cut the cord and they're like, okay, we need to take her now, and took her and cleaned her up. And you can talk about this because I was just sitting there letting them do their thing.
And they actually had a station, you know, with the little bed and the scale and its overhead device and everything. We actually have a picture of her next to her birth weight and the time. But they put this big suction thing, which was about as big as her head at the time, and they put it over her nose and her mouth, and the whole thing turned her face purple, and you could forcibly see it pulling the skin from her face. It was awful, but I mean, it saved her life.
I didn't know that. That's so scary.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I wasn't over there.
And so they did that probably for about 15-20 minutes. Jamie got to say goodbye to her, and then they brought her down to the NICU.
But it was so scary because I was just letting them do their thing, and while he's dealing with Kennedy, I was trying to keep myself preoccupied with what was going on downstairs with the doctor and watching them pull things out of me and making sure everything was getting out and having them push on my stomach, because after you give birth to a baby, you still have to get rid of everything else inside of you. The placenta. Sorry.
Yeah,
you had to get rid of the placenta.
Yeah, there's still contractions afterwards for a while.
So I was dealing with that and watching them pull like giant blood clots out of me, which was interesting and kind of cool. And then the epidural wore off so much that, like, I wasn't just joking, that they had to do 4 lidocaine shots to stitch me up, and I didn't rip in the normal place that women rip. And another reason why it was really scary, because it felt like it just was a lot of burning down there where I didn't want it to be burning, and so it was very confusing. So then I had to have 4 lidocaine shots to stitch me up, and then after they suctioned, they're like, okay, well, we're going to take her down to the NICU, but we want you to have some time with her. And so that was when she was put back onto my chest, and I got to bond with her for like 5 minutes, and now I just got to kiss her little head. And that was when the pictures of her were taken, of me holding her and Anthony getting to kiss her and just enjoying her for like literally 5 minutes. And then they're like, okay, we got to take her back now. And so, yeah, she was taken down to the NICU, got IV, got medicine. I was wheeled off to the next room. And while I got wheeled off to the next room, they played a lullaby. And normally you're supposed to have like your little tiny baby with you, and mine was away from me. So, that's the story of the birth of our baby. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the birth of our daughter vlog / story time. Check out the next video where we talk about our hospital stay and our hospital life, and you get to see us going home. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Like I said earlier, we'll be posting videos every Wednesday.
And tell them to ring the bell.
Ring the bell so you get notified when new videos go live. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Yeah. Bye.
I feel like you, Olivia. I think that's something you say. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal it from you. Love you. Alright. Bye, guys.